Hello, my name is Steve Kujic. You might recognize me from the Screen Chronicles if you're a fan of movies and TV, especially The Last Kingdom. But I'm also a doctorate of physical therapy. I'm working as a travel physical therapist. I like to hike, lift, do jiu-jitsu. So my own channel, I've also been putting some things on I've been doing as I've been traveling the United States and out of the country here eventually. One thing I just did here is a jiu-jitsu tournament, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's a martial art that originated in Japan and then was developed on in Brazil. Is how it became Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's basically a grappling form of martial arts, much like wrestling. If you've ever watched UFC, it's when you go to the ground and you try and submit each other through arm bars and chokes and ankle locks and all sorts of things. And I've been doing that for about a year now, and I finally got to do a tournament. I've been wanting to do some sort of competition outside of class pretty much since I started. My first place I was at, Central PA MMA, great place, really pushed competition. I was only there a month, though, before I left for travel PT, and I ended up in Virginia in a fundamental class in Team Passos in Ashburn, Virginia. Loved the place. I was a little inconsistent at first because of my hours at work and trying to find a gym. And then Christmas came, and then I had a meniscus injury. Yeah, I started becoming pretty consistent at Team Passos in June, but eventually I left there again. Went to Houston in September. Great place there, Revolution Dojo. I went to the morning classes, though, so there wasn't a lot of instruction while I was there anyway. It might have changed since I've left. And now I'm at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu here in El Paso, Texas. And I love the place. But I would say my place in Team Passos, they had a competition. They didn't really push it, though, towards me, I think because I was inconsistent. And then my morning class, I never even heard of any. There was one while I was there I could have done, but it wasn't promoted in my class at all. But here at 10th Planet, coach has been pushing it and promoting it, and I'm really glad I finally got to do it. A little disappointed in how it went, though. I had a game plan in my head of what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the guy actually taken down to do anything that I wanted to do. So it really just ended up being a stand-up wrestling, grappling sort of match the entire time. I was still glad I did it, though. I haven't done a competition before. I've had much harder roles. I think, you don't really get to see any of my skill here. I have some pretty decent skill, I think, for being about a year now. Doing jiu-jitsu. I started in October of 2021. It is now February 2023. Going to be 2 years here in October. So, I have periods of time when I'm off between contracts, when I'm traveling and that sort of thing. So I was a little disappointed that it just ended up being 4 minutes of us just chest bumping and switching positions up top. I was trying to shoot for takedowns. That's obviously something I need to work on, though, is getting the guy to the ground so I can do my jiu-jitsu. This is the full match here. Like I said, we didn't go to the ground. I ended up not winning. It was 0-0 when it got called, but the judge ended up giving the decision to my opponent. I'm not trying to make excuses here or say that I should have been the one to win, because in the end, I didn't do anything to put myself in a position to win. I worked, I trained, I've been going at it. In the match itself, I didn't do anything to get myself points. So I'm not saying that I should have won. I don't think I did anything to win. I don't think I did anything to lose, though, either. It's kind of like a soccer match. And that's something one of my football or basketball coaches or someone that said to me a long time ago, it was either high school or college, and it stuck with me, was that I remember when we had close games and we were blaming on the ref one time, he said, you got to take it out of the ref's hands then. you can't make it that close to where the refs have that much influence. And that's the same thing here. And again, I'm not trying to say I'm blaming the ref either. But yeah, I was competing in the super heavyweight, no gi, beginner. I figured I'd sign up for that. I think there was novice below me and there's intermediate above me. And I picked beginner just because I'm still white belt and this is my first one. Figured I'd go for that. And there was only one other person in that division of beginner weight class, age range. So I had one match that day. I was very nervous that day. I played football through high school and college at Teal College, small school in Greenville, PA. Even then, I was nervous for every game before it happened. But it was something I'd played for 10 years by the time I graduated. I was still nervous every time until the first hit, the first play, whatever it was. And I would say that's how I was here. But I'd say I was nervous all the way up until the match was over. Let me go back to why I think the judge picked the other guy. And you can see it here. I have the full video here. I fast forward through some parts where we go out of the ring or the ref's ass is in the way. So, sorry if you wanted to see the ref's ass. Again, I don't think I did anything to win. So I'm not saying tell me I think I should have won, but at least you can hear out what I'm saying and go from there. But anywho, though, since weigh-ins, the bracket went up online. I was in ring 4 at 4:30. Friday, the 24th, was weigh-ins. I weighed in then. I weighed in at 2:37 at the end of the day. I normally weigh about 2:30 in the morning without clothes on before I've eaten or drank anything. Now I had scrubs on when I weighed in. I was in the super heavyweight class. The bracket later that night said I was going at 4:30 in ring 4. I got to the gym, the Coliseum here in El Paso, around 2 to warm up, to see where I was going, see what the event was like. And I got over to my ring at 4. And the bracket does update in real time. I was checking my phone. I checked my phone around 4. Like I said, I was very nervous. I started to pee or felt like I had to pee like every 10 minutes. So it was about 4:10, but between 4:10 and 4:15, I check. I'm still at ring 4. I go to the bathroom. I come back. The match was finishing up. And I thought then I should be the one going next. I asked the guy who goes to my gym, 10th Planet, to film me so my family and you could all see. And he said that he was going next. So I'm waiting. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I get my phone back out of my bag. I start checking. And eventually I hear my name over the microphone. Steve Kajdaich, come to ring 2. And I go there and the ref is immediately he immediately says to me, where were you? And I'm like, at the place I was supposed to be the entire day that it told me to be at. I was there early. But anyway, though, he was mad. The judges looked mad. I don't know. Maybe they've been waiting for some period of time. I don't know how I was just supposed to know, though. I had my camera now in my hands and my phone in my pocket, but I forgot about my phone. I put my camera down on the desk. The judges seemed a little mad about that. The ref came over and adjusted a paper towel roll after I set my camera down. So I think he was annoyed I did that. Then I go out onto the mat. I had my phone in my pocket. So I take my phone out of my pocket, take it on the judge's stand there too. And then the match starts. So I don't think he was my biggest fan by this point. And again, I don't feel like I did anything to win. Don't feel like I did anything to lose, though. So I don't feel bad about his call. No one went to the ground. No one got in any definitive point positions during the time. It was 0-0 at the end of the match. Anyway, though, I'm going to watch the match now. I'll comment on it some. Try not to be too annoying, though, as we're going here. All right, so we started here. Immediately start trying to get a good position to take it for a takedown. My thought was get underhooks or do an arm drag. That's something we had learned that this week was the arm drag to an ankle pick. And so I was trying to do that, or maybe even arm drag and go to his back. You can see I slapped his mouth guard out of his mouth. He kept like chewing on it, but I let him pick it up. So I keep just trying to trip him. I keep just trying to fight for underhooks. My breathing was terrible. To be honest, I had a cold this week too, but I think a lot of it was nerves. I just wasn't controlling my breathing at all. I was just out the mouth. So I really was just trying to fight for underhooks, dominant position. I was trying to kick legs, but you can see a lot of the times I kick for a leg that's actually further back from the position he's at. I think right here I'm just trying to get some air. There I go. I tried to pull his head down and grab leg, but I should have tried to pull his, I should have broke his posture down more, pulled his head down further there, and shot for the leg. And see again, I tried to kick for the back foot. Right there, I was trying to wrap around to his back. And there's the ref's ass. Sorry, I'm fast forwarding through this. And then there's another Steve at my 10th Planet. He's been training for about 5 years, blue belt. He was in the ultra heavyweight, I think. And he's the one you hear cheering me on, telling me some advice. Shot for a leg. We went out. Now we're back in. I tried to jump on, get some sort of headlock, Kimura going. Or guillotine, rather. And here you actually had that was probably the best control you had over me the whole match. I should have just let him take me down so I could get to some jiu-jitsu there. Oh, well. And there I go. I tried to kick again for the rear foot. Try to trip him up there instead of the one he was planted on. There actually, I tried to pick the ankle, but I didn't break his posture down, lost balance. I just wasn't really controlling myself like I normally do. I was really just feeling the adrenaline. And he was good. I mean, he was good at not being taken down. And there I went for a takedown. There. The time actually went up before we went down. Yeah, and that's it. And you saw at the end there, he did like a thing here. And I don't know if you heard his coach say, though, I probably shouldn't have done the neck thing or something like that. Again, I don't think I did anything to win. I don't think he did anything to win either, other than not be taken down, which we both did. I felt like, in my opinion, watching that back, I attempted more shots than he did. Again, he was pretty good at trying to fight for that position, though, too. I'm not taking anything away from him. And he was the one that won that day, though. Anyway, that was my first competition there. I'm going to plan on doing more in the future. Going to be keep competing. Maybe I'll film some trainings, things like that. I do have a strength program that I made for myself, and that I did back earlier this year or last year. Yeah, damn, yeah, it was last year when I was still working in Virginia. Going to do that next. Make sure you check out, if you like hiking videos and seeing some things about traveling, I have plenty of that on my channel too. If you're a fan of movies, The Last Kingdom, make sure to check out the Screen Chronicles podcast with me and my best friend. Talk about movies, TV, especially The Last Kingdom there. More coming from there soon too. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.